I'm Earl Stewart. I welcome you to Earl Stewart on Cars Mystery Shopping Report. Mercedes-Benz of North Palm Beach. I'll speak of the first person as if I were Agent Lightning, our crack agent who has been doing this for 2 or 3 years now. She does a great job. I walked into the showroom around lunchtime and was greeted by a salesman who introduced himself with a firm handshake. "Hi, I'm Mike," he said. Mike asked, "Are you here to see anyone specifically?" "No, I'm just looking to get a price on a new car," I replied. "Great. Be happy to help you out. What exactly are you looking for?" I explained my husband and I do a lot of traveling and are looking for comfort and good gas mileage. He went over the options available, electric, gas, hybrid, and explained each one in detail. He also pointed out how the front grille design indicates the trim level of each Mercedes-Benz. I did not know that.
I had no idea.
So we used the cars on the showroom as an example of this. We even have a special deal on a car available for $499 a month. It's a lease, he added. It's a demo car we use for customers who come in for oil changes or warranty work. I pointed to a car out front that had caught my eye. "What about that one?" "It's $171,000. Ooh, you got to hand it to Mercedes, without blinking.
Right.
"That's a high-performance electric car," he replied. "But since the 2024 model, I could get you a really good deal." We are in a position now where you're buying last year's car. Don't buy a used car. You're buying a 2024, you're buying a used car. And the salesperson, to credit, he says it's a 2024 model. There's some dealerships you go in there and you just say, "Oh, here's a new car," but it's a year old. I could get you a really good deal. "Okay, how much?" I asked the salesperson. We could take off around $25,000 to $30,000. God, you're in a Mercedes dealership. $25,000 to $30,000. And you think about 25 or 30, so 5,000 just doesn't make any difference. It's just a lot of money. I shook my head. That's still a little too high for me. After reviewing all my options, I decided I was most interested in a particular SUV, 2024 GLS 450 4MATIC, parked in the showroom. The MSRP was $96,535. I knew this because it was on the Monodi label, and it was right where it belonged and properly affixed. Now, you new listeners, you don't hear that in Florida very often. In fact, we just, generally speaking, every dealer in Florida takes the Monodi label off in violation of federal law. So kudos to Mercedes dealership in North Palm Beach for not doing that. So this car is one of the few 2024 models left, Mike said. We're willing to make a deal on it. "I'd love to see the pricing for this one," I told him. "I like it a lot." "Okay," so let's head over to my desk. Once at his desk, he pulled up the information in the system. "I'm glad to see you're back." I get nervous every time I see that in a mystery shopping report. Because you think someone would remember. He remembered or didn't remember. It's in the computer. They looked at, no, wait a minute. Look at the same car back then. So let's make it happen for you today. "Well, I'm glad my taste hasn't changed," she said, laughing. It never blinked an eye. Mike pulled up the car in the system and said, "I'll be right back with a price for you." About 3 minutes later, he returned. "We're having issues with the system," he said, "but my manager authorized a 10% discount on any of the cars. Any of the 2024s, I presume." I asked, "Can you do a detailed breakdown for me?" He tried, but no matter what he did, the computer system wouldn't print. We've all been there and done that. We're highly reliant on technology these days. When it breaks, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
"I'll write it down for you," he said, "so you'll have the dealer fees and tag costs." So immediately he just called what he had was a dealer fee. I say that because most dealers in Florida, anyway, come up with these exotic names for their junk fees. We stopped calling them dealer fees because that's dealers are now saying, "I don't have a dealer fee. It's an electronic filing fee, or it's some other kind of fee," because they make up a name for it. But in this case here, they call it a dealer fee, $995. And then the license was $223.75, and that is a legitimate non-taxable fee. And $200 title is seven. Again, no tax, and there's a 7% sales tax, which is obviously a government fee. I looked it over, doing the math in my head, decided it was time to go. Before leaving, I asked, could you email me a printout if the system comes back online? I said, we do this because most South Florida dealers won't give you a price unless you promise to buy the car right then and there. Yeah, let me check one more time, he said. Our technician is working on it. He returned a few minutes with a printout. I requested. The top line was MSRP, $96,535. Took off a 10% discount for $9,635. Added the junk fees, what he called a dealer fee, and the real fees, and the tax, making the total $93,962. As he walked me back to the door, he asked, are you sure you don't want to sit in this car before you go? Sitting in the car is a magical experience. Buying cars are an emotional experience. I get you a great deal on it, $25,000 to $30,000 off. Why not? I'll sit in it. Mike pointed out many of the car's features, but then realized he didn't have the keys. I'll be right back. Returned shortly and said, I just found out someone bought it. After all that, right?
I believe it. I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
They're working with finance right now, but I can show you something else. Not today, I said. I'll be in touch. So there you have it. A South Florida Mercedes dealership in North Palm Beach.
They get a B from me.
Myself, the junk fees keep them from getting much more than a B- out of me.
This morning I give him a C-.
Earl, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go with a B. I'm going to give them a high grade. To me, the important thing is that they got a price, a fixed price. The thing I hate the most is if you don't buy the car today, you won't get my best price. That is so childish and
Insulting.
It's just insulting. I mean, so a firm price goes a long way with me. And the dealer fees were brought out right away. In fact, the funny thing is, he used the word dealer fee when in fact they didn't call it on their doc sheet. They called it a doc fee, I think. So they call it a doc fee. No, he's not, he's not going to call it a junk fee. That's the reason we call it a junk fee, is because all the other names are taken up. So we call them all collectively. But the fact that dealers are actually now advertising, we have no dealer fees, and then you go in there and they have a doc fee and an electronic filing fee. I mean, they ought to take those dealers out and put them in front of a firing squad. Hi, this is Earl Stewart. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to be notified of new videos that we post to our YouTube channel, simply click on the subscribe button and the bell icon in the lower right-hand side of the screen.